If I had to pick the single biggest friction point in my eBay listing process, hands down, it's my photo setup. I'm not a professional photographer. I'm not even an amateur photographer. I'm just an eBay seller trying to get good quality product photos consistently. This is what my setup looked like day to day. I had extension cords running across the floor, which I was constantly stepping over. The soft boxes were unstable. I was always bumping into them, knocking them over or adjusting them. And no matter how much I moved things around, I could never get consistent lighting. My listing fatigue would really get the best of me before I ever even started. All I had to do was think about all the things I had to perfectly get in line before I could even start taking a photo, and I was exhausted. Now, my old setup has been in just about every place in the house there is imaginable. Most recently has been in this room. Just look at it over there judging me. This weekend, I'm fixing it once and for all. So before I start tearing the place up and spending money, I need to be really clear about what it is that I need my photo setup to do for me. And the first thing I need it to be consistent. I need my photos to look the same every single time. Second, I need it to be fast. I can't be messing around all day trying to get pictures of 10 items. Third, it needs to be flexible. I'm doing low volume listing. I don't batch list. As a small seller, that does not work for me. I need my setup to be able to photograph with very little to no adjustments in between. Number 4, I need it to be safe. I cannot be tripping on tripods, knocking lights over. Number 1, it's irritating. Number 2, it hurts. And number 3, it's irritating. I think I already said that, but let me say it again. It's really irritating. Number 5, I need my photos to be true to color. I don't want my buyer to receive something that doesn't look like what they saw when they purchased it. And number 6, I need it to be budget friendly. I was going to write cheap, but I'm trying to say it in a nice way. It needs to be within my budget. So how am I going to pull all of this off in one weekend with a little bit of money? First things first, judgy the light setup has got to go.
0, 1. Let's get started.
All right, so we have got everything done. It really didn't take all that long, which I'm grateful for. If you remember when we started, the photography setup was over here against this wall. Everything is now safely tucked away inside of this closet. All of my equipment, everything that I need to photograph now lives inside this space. All I have to do to photograph is open these doors. We have power strips installed in here, and I just have to plug in the power strips. I'll pull out my soft boxes. And then switch on my lights. Now, if you want to come in here, I'll give you a little tour of the photo studio. So the first thing we did was installed an overhead shop light. I need a lot of light because I don't see very well. And this also serves as a fill light from the top. I do plan to leave this on when I'm photographing. We also, since these lights came with like 6 in them, we decided to go ahead and install some extra lighting on the sides. That is not there for photography purposes. It's just there to help me see. I did try to shoot a few photos with these lights on. It was just too much light. They're just there if I need some extra light. I've got my backdrop hanging up here. This is the original closet pole. I just decided to go ahead and run it on that. Yes, I know my backdrop is a little wrinkly. I don't care about those wrinkles. Most of the time, I just use the background removal tool in eBay, and it's not an issue anyway. I like having a backdrop for a couple of different reasons, which we'll get into here in a second. One of the things that was really important to me is that because I'm a small seller and I sell a variety of different items, I need to be able to switch from, say, listing a shirt to a full-length dress to a pair of shoes or a set of flatware. So I have to be able to have a hard surface to set things on. So for that reason, I keep a small folding table over here, and I'll just bring it in here, lift up my backdrop, set my table down, and I'm ready to go. So with the table, I can switch to a hard good really quickly. Hats, mugs, plushies, just about anything I need a small flat surface for. Sometimes you're going to have an item that will require use of a mannequin. So I also need to be able to get my mannequin in here and get a full coverage photo of her. So she fits in here nicely. I think actually if I put my soft boxes in here correctly, I think my mannequin can also store back in the corner here when she's not in use, so she won't be in my way anymore either. If I have a pair of pants, I can do that here. There is plenty of space to do long dresses. We all know I hate to list pants, but now I'm going to be able to get good consistent color top to bottom each time, so maybe it won't be so bad going forward. This setup is going to cover about 90 to 95% of anything that I'm going to sell. Okay, so how did we do? When we started this project, I had 6 requirements of my photo setup. So let's go over those and see where I'd grade my new setup. Number 1, I wanted something consistent. It's not a full 10, but I'd definitely give it an 8. Number 2, it had to be fast. I'm going to give it a 10 for that. I can switch around product to product very easily, and my initial setup is minutes. Number 3, it had to be flexible. I'm giving it a 9 here. It is definitely flexible and serves every purpose that I need it to serve. Number 4, safety. I wanted it to be safe. I'm giving it an 8 here, and the only reason I'm giving it an 8 is because I do still have some tripod and cord action going on down here at the bottom, although it is contained nicely off to the sides, whereas before it was right in the middle of my pathway. Number 5, true to color. I'm only giving it a 7 here. This isn't necessarily the setup's fault, but I'm using an iPhone, and the cameras on these phones, I gotta say, I'm not a big fan of, but it's easy and fast when it comes to listing, so I'm probably going to continue to use my iPhone. Even though I do have a Canon Rebel, it's just so much easier to use my iPhone. And number 6, on the budget, I'm going to give it a 10. I really didn't spend a lot of money here. I really only had to buy some paint for the inside of the closet, some furring strips. I did buy the shop lights, but those were very inexpensive. I did buy a new set of soft boxes because I was going to replace these 24 by 24 lights. They would not work. They just weren't powerful enough, so they're going back, and I'm going to keep using the lights I already had. There were a few little miscellaneous pieces of hardware and stuff like that that we had to use. But all in all, I spent less than $100, and I'm very happy, and I feel like I really got a lot out of my money for that. This solves a lot of problems that I had before. It doesn't solve them all, but it does make my life a whole lot easier moving forward. And if you're still there, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.